Hi, I'm Yanling, and welcome back to part 2 of our special Web 3.0 series. This was taken from a live recording of our recent in-person event held at the Parlour, Singapore's first NFT bar and lounge. So sit back and enjoy the finale of our specially curated panel of how Web 3.0 can empower creatives. Anthony, right, we've heard from the 3 different types of creators as well. But you run the community. You talk to a lot of types of people. They enter into this space for a lot of different reasons. I think you also see a lot of different perspectives of why people come to this space and the NFTs and how they have made a difference. Give us a feel of the ground of what the community is thinking from what you see.
I'll just touch on IP rights first. So with the bigger NFT projects like by Nike, Clone X, and BAYC, Bathing Yacht Club, they have been very happy to provide their fellow collectors or holders the ability to use the artworks for their own purposes, even if it is to make money. So in the US, you can see burger joints created under maybe an ape design, or for I think 2 weeks ago, CloneX released their 3D assets for each character. So now everyone who owns CloneX can just go around using that character in the metaverse or for their own commercial purposes. So that's quite interesting. Having to bring on the co-creation aspect, such that it's not just you owning a piece of what a company or artist has created, but you having to put your own aspect into it, be it your own personality online or maybe something else you want to create in real life. I think right now the NFT space is quite quiet in terms of transaction volumes have really fallen a lot since 10 billion last year, August. So now actually a lot of projects are running free mints. But if you were to talk about, let's say, some of my friends who are still creating artworks, they're putting in a lot of effort. So unlike the generative art pieces you see in NFT collections, there are those which spend weeks just to create one piece. Yeah, and they will still price it as such, as per the effort they have put in. So there are still people who appreciate those type of artworks, and yeah, there's still sales going on in that area. But with regards to like profile picture NFTs, I think that's it's just oversaturation at this point in time. So yeah, I'm all for having creators use NFTs as a means of payment and transaction. Less of the noise that has been created over the past few months.
I think it's cooled down a little bit, but it's also at a time I think a lot of people are regrouping and trying to find their way around the whole space and trying to improve it, basically. Okay, so we have a few questions coming in. Let's address some of them. How can I get involved in NFT if I didn't have any experience? Any one of our panelists want to say? Yes, Dom.
Okay, so how to get into NFT? So that's a very good question. So my question back to you is, if you want to get into NFT, what do you mean by it? Is it buying and selling, or is it creating artwork to sell? It's as simple as just getting onto a platform, putting up your art, and selling it there. And if it's buying and selling, I think it's a whole different game altogether, because there's a lot of different types of NFTs, as you can hear from like the 4 of us. So there are like profile picture ones, those are collectibles. There's also artwork. There's also music ones. There's also, and I saw one of the questions was metaverse. There's also metaverse real estate. So it's like virtual land, imagine like websites kind of thing. So there's a lot of types. So asking how to get into NFTs is a very, very big question. But yeah.
There's a lot of roles in the space. It depends what you want to be. Like you want to be a project creator, you want to be a seller, buyer, trader, or you just want to be the artist, just waiting for someone to buy your artwork, that kind of thing. So I think of course to start is to of course like what you say, just purchase one and then see how it works, right? How it runs. What is the idea of minting? What is the process, and how to even create a MetaMask, that kind of thing. So that's of course is the very early phase. For us, like other than running Moonzy, we also do our own launch pad, which we help people launch the NFT project, because we kind of have the experience to help people kickstart, to do smart contract, to create artwork, etc. So we kind of do everything. So we can go look for us to do that if you want to launch an NFT project.
I think the main question you have to ask, if let's say you want to get into the NFT, is like why you want to go into NFTs. Are you going into NFTs because you want to earn money, Like you want to flip, you want to learn how to invest, because there's an investment aspect on it, right? If you're a creative, you want to be a creator in the space, or like I think like Jay said, like you want to find a career in the crypto or NFT space. Because of crypto and NFTs, like there's so many new jobs that has been created because of this, because of blockchain. Yeah. So when you ask yourself that, and then if let's say you want to be like, I wanna buy and sell NFTs, or I want to be a creator. Then the next question you want to ask yourself, like, which blockchain that you want to be on. Then so you got to learn the research, right? So like I think what Dom and Jace and Anthony has already talked, like there's so many different types of blockchain, Ethereum, Tezos, even Binance and all that. Find something that you're comfortable with in starting. I wouldn't say that you straight away go for the highest Ethereum if let's say you don't have the means to go into it, or if you want to buy and sell over there. But I think right now gas fees are not that high as previously, so you can actually like explore as well. Because I think the reason why Ethereum is always very attractive because of the number lah, right? The conversion rate of Ethereum is much higher than the other blockchain. However, I think even the communities for different blockchain also vary differently. Like I think for Tezos and crypto, like if you do one-of-one art and if you put yourself out there, like, or you put like hashtag CrowFam, like you will meet a lot of like crypto.com like collectors. And then like if they know like you're an artist, you're doing very nice art, and they kind of like your work and they want to collect, like you build your own community within that particular blockchain, and I think from there that's where you can start to establish. I think the nitty-gritty stuff is most important thing. You need to set up your wallet on the different blockchains that you want to be in, and then just build a community lah.
As a creator, right, or as an artist, or you want to just start out making your own art in the crypto space, there are actually a lot of funds that you can use. So there are quite a few organizations. So there's like First Mint Fund, or even the Tezos Faucet. So I mean, it might sound like wow, like so many terms, but what essentially these things are, right, are like, okay, I have art, then I can submit my art to one of these guys. Then I show them what I'm doing, and they kind of curate that thing. That hey, your art is nice, so I'm gonna sponsor you for your first ever mint, or like your first ever creation on the blockchain. And sometimes like what Iqbal said, gas fees. Okay, basically for those who don't know, everything that you do on the blockchain needs money, crypto. So it can range anywhere from a few cents to $200. And yes, I paid $200 for gas before. I regret that decision, by the way. Yeah. So
Gas fee goes to miners lah. Miners are
yeah. So people who kind of sustain the whole thing, right? The whole blockchain, like people, the computers involved. So people who run those computers, they get paid. I mean, that's fair. And yeah, so people can sponsor your gas, even if it's $200, $2,000, they will also sponsor it. Yeah, but that's the thing. So it lowers the barrier to entry to actually start selling your art. And I think for Ethereum, it's a bit higher. For say other blockchains like say Tezos or Polygon, the barrier to entry is a lot lower, because if like you want to start minting on Tezos, right, you just go and ask like one person in the community, say, hey, I want to mint something, can you spare me some cash? And they'll just send you like one Tezos or something. Like
Right,
free.
okay.
Yeah,
It's like free money.
yeah, it's
basically,
really
like
friendly.
anything else,
Yeah, I mean, it's $2 lah.
Okay, so I guess that answers also that first question, right? What's the easier way to get into NFT? I think there were a lot of technical terms, a lot of technical ways that we just threw out over here. But I think what is exciting is also what all of them have shared, right? That if you just ask, there'll be someone who's willing to share, especially if you're not very sure. And I remind everyone again that this is a space for learning, right? If you're unsure what we all just talked about, there's a lot of technicalities, some of them simpler than others, some of them more complicated. Feel free to ask, and I'm sure someone will be willing to sit down next to you and actually talk you through it, or even walk you through that whole process. So it's all about asking, it's about sharing, but there's a community here to support you, right? Let me go to that last one first, because I think it's quite interesting. How can creators incorporate utility into NFTs? Can one of you just explain what does utility in an NFT mean?
Okay, so utility means like you own the thing, then you get something. I mean, that's what people want to have, more bang for their buck, basically. So like if I own can of Coke, I want more than a can of Coke. Like I own the art, I want more. What more can I do with it since it's digital? There are many varied camps on it, and I think I sit on one of those camps where I kind of disagree that artwork needs to have utility, because art's utility is cultural capital. If I buy a piece of Monet, then people will see that I have money, and I kind of agree with this movement, art movement. If like I like basket, I mean, yeah, I do I can't afford it, but people know that I'm into this movement, into this whole like movement against like the aesthetic. So I feel that art's utility is still that, but at the same time, since it's digital, right, and what you can do, right, by owning this token, there's a lot of things. One is you can create plot of land online, and people can only access it if they own either one of your artwork. That's one. Another one, it's that there's a lot of new interesting ways to use it, and I think that's limited to your own creativity. So what I plan to do was actually to let people who own my art access this HDB flat I'm building. Yeah, online.
In the metaverse.
Yeah, in the metaverse. I cannot build the actual one either. I no money. Yeah, so that's one. And the other thing is like, another utility is that you can kind of reward your collectors, because even traditional art, you kind of sometimes you just want to reward the people who support you. So since everything is on a blockchain, right? I know we've talked about it a lot. What it also means is that everything is transparent. Anybody can see it. So Iqbal here can see how much ETH I own, like, which is not a lot lah. So everything is transparent, from the amount of money you own, to the art you own, to the contract, right? Like who is owning this art? Like let's say I created this piece, then the four of us, the owners of it. So you see how much the royalty is split. Maybe I just get 1% and he gets 3%. So it's all fair.
For NFT, early days there was no utility, no such thing.
There's no
early days it was just about community. If you own the NFT, you are part of this community. So it was very exclusive.
Yeah.
So after that, there's more to that. There's like for example, let's say the Parlour decide to have their own NFT, and then what utility can they do? Maybe they as example, if you own one NFT of the Parlour, you can have maybe a membership access to maybe 1 whole year free flow of beer, that kind of thing. Example, so that's the utility. It depends on what you are good at and what you can provide. And it all depends. So for us, Moonzy, when you own an NFT, your utility is what? Is that if you own an NFT, you can, in the game, you can earn. So if you don't own the NFT, you can still play, but you don't earn. That kind of thing, yeah.
So it's basically like if I dumb it down a bit, more for my sake than anyone else, it's really like a membership to allow you access into something. And that something can be up to the creator, no matter what it is.
It's actually up to the creator to define.
What you can provide, you know.
Sometimes there are some pieces of art where if you burn it, then you get something else also. Like I did own a piece of art once where, I mean, it's a cool gimmick and mechanic, but the utility is that whenever I burn this one, I get burning means I destroy it forever. So if I destroy this, then I get a very special piece of art that has my name on it. Like everyone can see it's my name. Like I own it, then I'm the person that first created this kind of thing, That to me was quite cool.
So that also sounds a little bit complicated to me, honestly.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think to simplify, like how can creators incorporate utility into NFTs, right? It's very simple. I think you definitely want to benefit people who supported you, but at the same time, you don't want to kill yourself, right? Because what's going on is like people are actually creating utility because it's like they want to sell the NFT as much as they can, But then sometimes they can't even deliver, and that's a problem that creators will face. So I think the most important thing is if it drives your passion, if it makes you a better creative, and it makes you improve into whatever you want to be in the future. And with that, because people are supporting by buying your NFT, I think that's the utility that you want to create. Like for example, when Jace creates Moonzy, like he wants people to benefit by playing his game and earning, but at the same time, he's actually like doing launch pads, like things that not only benefit the community, but something that he's passionate about. So that's why it's easy for it becomes second nature, and it's something that you guys can build upon. I think that's the most important mindset that you have to create. Not because like, oh, I wanna like be rich. I think like make money. Yes, of course you will make money. It will eventually come. I think here it's about building your community, building your fan base, and like getting to know more people and have fun and be passionate about it.
So I think the original, we've done a lot of these kind of training sessions and workshops, and we've talked about, we had networking sessions with a lot of creators. I think the principle of most creators must still remain. You are doing something out of passion. You are doing something that really drives you, that you really love. And as with any other job, like, you can join a creative job, but you might hate it in the end because it becomes a job. Right? So in the end, if you want it to last, you must find that balance between your passion as well as your creativity and earning money, right? So something that can sustain you for a long time. For the future of 3.0 NFT, what do you guys see it as? And how do you hope yourselves and the community around here can be involved in it?
I think it's definitely here to stay. I'm a true believer of Web3 and a true believer of crypto is something I'm trying to learn, but I think in the NFT space, like being in NFT, like seeing the community, like I said earlier, like it's an opportunity for every person, be it a creative, non-creative, freelancer or not, to actually try and dwell into the space and actually find your footing in there. Because like I think like those of you who are want to learn about crypto technology and all that, like it's a place that you can actually learn and also find a career in. Those who want to create art, like you can create your community and build in and move into the Web3 space, the Web3 future, and establish yourself. And hopefully with that you can get more jobs, because now if you can see, like brands are also going into NFTs, like collaborating. So all these are actually opportunities that you may miss if you don't go in. But at the same time, I'm also not like forcing everybody to go in, because at the end of the day, it's your pace. You got to find your own footing. You got to find your purpose, why you want to go into the Web3 space. Yeah, you can't just like follow everybody and then because at the end of the day, it's a very large space. It's like the internet, and you just have to find your identity and find what you like. Like, are you a flipper, collector, or both? Or you just be like what I term the digital hoarder, like you just keep, And I don't think there's no right or wrong in doing that. It's just about what you find exciting and peace and passionate about when you're in the space. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Regarding the future, I think future is always uncertain, so best to not try to predict it or comment on it too much. I'll just focus more on actionables. So right now, we are actually in a recession. As of yesterday, US already announced. It's been 2 quarters of negative growth. So what's coming next would be, I guess, potentially lesser jobs and maybe more unemployment. So on that note, what's nice about crypto is that most jobs here are remote and everything is decentralized. So be it the protocol that I work at, for creatives, even beyond NFTs, decentralized finance protocols are still hiring. A lot of them are still getting funded during this period of time. There's a website called Layer 3, which aggregates all these jobs. It's like a portal for different decentralized organizations, communities, and businesses in the Web3 to list their jobs, and they will tell you a price that they're willing to pay for the work you can provide them. Yeah, and with that, you can use this and take a look at what you can contribute to the Web3 space.
So a lot more still happening. How about Jace yourself?
For me, I totally agree with what Anthony said. Like, it's more on what looking at what's happening now, lah. But apart from that, a lot of things is when there's down, there's up. Like when they say there's bear market, it's a building market. Keep building and then work on when the bear market returns. That's where you can strive. And then when there's Web3. Web 4 is going to come, Web 5 is going to come. Like, what's it going to be? We don't know yet. Web 3, we are still at the entrance. And think of it as like back then we were still 3G. Who would think about 5G, right? So now we are in the 4G. Of course, in US you have 5G, and it's really, really very, very powerful. So Web 4 is going to power Web 3, and Web 5 is going to power Web 4 and the rest. So think of it as like when there's down, there's up. So invest in what you believe in, and you will be happy with what you invest. Yeah.
I think for me, it's very simple. The future is just what you make of it. As creatives, right, you are now given this new channel, and there are new things you can do. So, like Anthony said at the start, Web3 is about ownership. Personally, I don't really like Web3 terms because I'm very bad with numbers. To me, the internet is evolving, and it's evolving in a very new and exciting way. So it's giving us more control. So think about it, like at the start of the internet, like, you know, when people started doing GeoCities, I don't know how many here old enough to remember GeoCities, but I loved it. So there were no rules, and that was super exciting. You can just do anything you want right now. And websites were very fun. It's not single page scrolling websites, but websites. Oh, Space Jam website is still there, so it's quite cool. Yeah. So and it's exactly that space right now. Is this new age of the internet, and everything's new and exciting. And as creatives, that's our job, to explore what's new and what's exciting, and also to push the boundaries. And we can also set what boundaries are there. Like, it doesn't have to be single page scrolling websites anymore. Can it be a virtual experience? Can it be like things that you can only experience if you own a certain token? So that is what I think the future holds. Like, maybe personalized things. I mean, I don't want to predict, but I just leave it to you as creatives to kind of determine that for yourselves.
Thank you all for sharing your insights and your points of view about this. Because I think, as all of panelists say, it is really up to you right now. It is an exciting space. There's a lot of things to explore within this. There's no right, there's no wrong, and some people might find that very intimidating. But I think as creators, it is a very, very exciting space to be in, because the sky's the limit, and I think past the sky as well. It's really up for you to make your own future, right? We've seen jobs coming up that weren't there before even last year. Let's not talk about 5 years ago. Okay, everything is new, everything is exciting, and there are no set rules. Yes, regulation, I think, I think Anthony, right, you were the one who mentioned, once regulation comes into place, a lot more people will be more sure about how to go into it. But the fact that all of you are here today is that you want to be ahead of the wave and not be at the back of it. So I hope today's session and the sharing from our panelists today has given you that inspiration to go and look more into it, and give you maybe a little bit more courage to go out and explore, talk to new people, right? Disclaimer, okay, it is everything that we shared today are points of views. They are not financial advice, okay? You guys know the drill, okay? Please do your own due diligence, as all of them have shared. So thank you again so much to everybody, and thank you to our panelists.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to hear from our other guests coming up in our new episodes or catch up on our How to NFT series, do remember to click follow on our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. Creatives at Work is releasing our own NFT in September, so do keep a lookout and join us in our NFT journey.